Hi there, this is Paul Fright from unusualeducation.com, and this is on the 13th of November 2012. I'm just talking today about, does goal setting really work? Because find that most of the goal setting advice that you see on the internet or in the media, or just in general what we're given, I like to question it, because I want to ask this question really: is, does it work for you? Because sometimes I think we have such this one-size-fits-all approach that everybody's gunning after the next goal or the next thing that they can achieve. And I find as well as well as the goal setting that people go for, that it really does create a lot of frustration in people as well. But that side of things is not always talked about. It's, if you don't achieve a goal, then there's something that you're lacking or missing, or there's something wrong with you. And often I think it's because the style in which we try to achieve, or the methods or the techniques that is often spoke about, that you've got to keep focused on your goal and you've got to get there whatever counts. It doesn't always resonate with me. I focused, or sorry, I operate totally different to another person, and so therefore the same advice. I don't like all this one size fits all approach that this is what we do and you've got to fit in it. And I think what it does is, because we focus upon what we can get, the end result, what we're going to achieve, but not on what you become. And I think it's a constant cycle really of frustration, because you're trying to achieve but then you're always moving on to someplace else. So you get, if you ever got to the point where you achieve a goal and then you said, right, I've done that, well, now what? And then before you know it, you're making plans to get on to somewhere else. And I think this can be, as I say, a great cycle of frustration, because what it's telling you, that if you're always trying to get someplace else, you're never happy with what you've got. And so therefore you're always on the move, you're always going as fast as you can. And you see it in life, people are just driving along, even when you going along in your car. People are just rushing to get somewhere else, and I always sort of question it. Why? People are always tailgating you, and it's not that I drive slow, or I don't think I do anyway. But you get people just trying to get by you, or they're always in a rush, and I just think, well, what's the point of getting somewhere, 5 or 10 minutes earlier? Why not just relax? Why not just slow down and enjoy the journey, rather than just keep focusing on the destination that you're trying to get to? And I often do that, when I go on holiday, if I'm driving, doing a journey for a few hours. We used to, I remember back as kids, and my mum and dad, Dad would be driving the car we'd often go down to Clacton in Essex, and me and my brother, we'd sit in the back, and their question was always, Dad, when are we going to get there? How much longer we got? Oh, it won't be long, another half hour or something like that. But we're always so excited about getting there. But a lot of the time you miss the journey, you miss the things along the path that you're taking. And I think it's important to keep going. You've got to keep moving, of course you have, but to enjoy the journey that you're taking, not just to say, right, well, that's my destination, I'm going for that, and everybody else and every other circumstance has got to move out of the way because I'm so focused on this. And what I want to do is just to really talk about maybe a plan that you can put into place, and because it's really showing you what you can do now. And my approach to this, about goal setting, is really about to focus on the individual rather than what the goal is or what the person is trying to achieve. Because if you do that, you become more relaxed about things, rather than this sort of stress-filled, I've got to get there as quick as I can, I've got to achieve this before everybody else. And it really does, I think, even if you get what you're after, it just creates such a frustrated and stressed life. And I'll give you an example. I used to work in a car dealership. Okay, so yeah, I used to sell cars for a living, so you can believe every word I'm going to tell you from now on. And I always remember one Saturday I was working there, and we'd had quite a good day. And we'd sold about 5 cars, and the boss said, you know what, if we can just sell one more, then I'll be satisfied with that, I'll be happy. And I think that's the classic example of never having enough. Even though you've done well, but when do you actually arrive? at the place where you say, do you know what, I'm satisfied with that. And I think it's a great frustration that we do give ourselves, if we're constantly trying to get somewhere else. And goal setting, I think, really does focus so much on that rather than on the individual themselves and whether they're enjoying what they're doing. So to focus on yourself rather than what the goal or what you're trying to achieve, I think this is done by asking yourself questions that need to be answered to uncover whether what you are going after is actually the right thing to do. So what we want to put in place really is something practical. How do I do this? How do I actually, it's good to talk about, oh yeah, I need to ask different questions, but how do you do it? And I always say to use something visual, because it's much better than writing something down. So, if you've got PowerPoint on your computer or like a mind map software that you can use where you can just see it right on the screen in front of you, or even if you just want to write it down on a bit of paper, which is okay, but it's as I say, just make sure that you use something visual, something like a graph. In PowerPoint now they've got these different shapes that you can use and different graphs where you can just, it just lays it all out for you. And it's really all about brainstorming, just asking yourself, as I say, questions. And I'm just going to throw these questions out. I'm not saying you've got to use these, but it's just something because the point of the exercise is just to look at the motive, really, just to even, quietly disturb yourself and say, right, is goal setting really working for me? And the first question I ask myself, am I happy in pursuit of my goals? Yes or no? Because if you're not, again, if you achieve the goal, that won't make you happy. And I think it's a great benefit, really. It's a great thing to study happiness these days, and especially in our universities, and we have so many courses and things to do and degrees that people are going after to try and get a better job. And it's good to, I'm not saying it's wrong to go after a few quid, but how about studying happiness or joy or peace? I think I'd certainly sign up for those kind of classes, because there's something that just lasts all the time. But your achievements don't. It's really more about what you're turning into. So, first question, am I happy in pursuit of my goals? Yes or no? And the second question I would ask is, are my goals making me a difficult person to live or to be around? Am I not getting on with my family because I'm impatient now? I can't sleep at night. I can't rest. I can't even sit down and enjoy a meal anymore because I'm so goal focused and I'm always trying to get somewhere else. It's affecting me so much that I'm becoming quite difficult to be around, and it's an important question. And the third question I would ask is, do my goals inspire me or do they tire me? Do they inspire me? Do they put some energy in me, or are they just wearing me out? Because I find, as I said at the start, there's so much goal setting information around that it can, just absorb all the information itself and follow this method and do this right and make sure you're focused and you're doing this, and if this ain't working out, try something else. It can wear you out. All the information, I think it's better, just to focus upon maybe one or two things rather than trying to just get everything, so right together. And so those are the three questions. Am I happy in pursuit of my goals? Are my goals making me a difficult person to live or be around? And do my goals inspire me or tire me out? But as I say, you can put your own questions in there. They're just ones there. But the purpose of the exercise is just to, get you thinking and get you more focused on you as an individual rather than what you're trying to achieve. And then I think that the last point is the results. If you put this into place, what's going to happen? And I think by asking these questions, the process then forces you to focus on and give you the right mindset, not just the goal that you're after. So in other words, it's what you're turning into. And who is doing the achieving, or the person that is doing the achieving, is much more important than what is being achieved. Because I've seen it so many times, I'm sure you have as well, where people, they achieve so much, but they're still not happy. They're still always feeling that they're lacking something, or they're not complete. And I think if you focus more on yourself as an individual, focus upon, is this goal really making me happy? Is it changing me into someone that I want to be? And don't get me wrong, it's good to have a goal and to not to drift through and just meander through life and just say, oh, whatever will be, will be. But even just the pursuit of happiness. just to be happy because of, not because you've achieved anything, is a great place to arrive at and to stay in life. Because once you're happy, then you find that the things that you're after come to you a lot easier, but without all the stress and all the other aggravation that I think the normal way of goal setting really does set up for us. So I would just question now. As I say, it's good to keep focused and go after some things, but just ask yourself these three questions. Am I happy in pursuit of my goals? Are my goals making me a difficult person to live or to be around? And do my goals, do they inspire me, or are they wearing me out? Thanks for listening, and have a great day. Bye bye.